There's an impressive incident with fire. Oh, cubic, oh! That's where the limits are tested. Hamilton goes on the inside and they touched.
They both touched on the first lap of the 2021 British Grand Prix. Max Verstappen collided with Lewis Hamilton going into turn 9, which caused the Red Bull to spin more than 180 degrees and hit the barrier sideways with a force of 51 Gs. The collision left Max disoriented and he had to be assisted to get out of the car. He was taken to the Circuit Medical Center, where doctors confirmed he had no serious injuries, allowing him to compete in the next race in Hungary. Oh, that's a big jump. During the first lap of the 2014 British Grand Prix, Kimi Raikkonen lost control of his Ferrari. He went off the track at the entrance to the Wellington Straight, and when he tried to rejoin, he went over the grass, so he lost control of his car again and hit a metal barrier before coming back onto the track and crashing into Felipe Massa's car. The impact, which generated approximately 55 Gs, was so strong that the barrier needed repairs, causing a red flag. Raikkonen suffered bruises on his ankle and had to be helped out of the car, and he couldn't compete in the next race.
Here is turn number 4. He's already dragging there. An impressive incident with fire there. What happened was impressive.
On the first lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix, Romain Grosjean's Haas went off track after contact with Daniil Kvyat's AlphaTauri front wing, and at almost 200 kilometers per hour, the car crashed into the barrier, generating an impact of 67 Gs and splitting in two. The crash was so violent that the fuel tank broke, causing an explosion and a massive fireball that engulfed the car. Grosjean was trapped in flames for 28 seconds before he was able to escape and be assisted by the track marshals and the medical team. In the end, the Haas driver only suffered second-degree burns on his hands and ankle, and that was his last race in Formula One. Yes, we do. Yes. Let's go. During the qualifying session of the 2002 Japanese Grand Prix, Alan McNish's Toyota crashed violently into the barrier at the 130R corner, subjecting him to 69 Gs. The car was practically destroyed, however, McNish got out of the car without serious injuries. Even so, he was taken to the hospital for observation and did not participate in the race that weekend. We have pilot work.
Oh, what accident. Kubica has suffered a brutal accident.
At the 2007 Canadian Grand Prix, Robert Kubica tried to overtake but hit the back of Guillermo Trulli's Toyota and went onto the grass. Things got worse when Kubica's car hit a bump, causing it to lift and lose control. As a result, the BMW Sauber crashed into a concrete wall at high speed, generating a force of 75 Gs. The impact was so strong the car bounced into the wall on the opposite side of the straight. Kubica, he suffered an ankle sprain and a concussion, so he was replaced by Sebastian Vettel for the next race. Well, pay attention. A lot of things have happened during the Grand Prix of 1004. Ralf Schumacher's Williams suffered a tire failure at turn 13 in Indianapolis, the only banked corner in Formula One at that time. He lost control and crashed into the outside wall at a 90-degree angle, experiencing 78 Gs. Schumacher suffered a concussion and 2 minor fractures in his spine, so he spent several months in recovery and rehabilitation, missing several races that season. In the qualifying session of the 2011 Monaco Grand Prix, Sergio Perez lost control of his Sauber as he exited the tunnel and shot to the right, crashing violently into the barriers at the harbor chicane, generating a force of 82 Gs. The impact was brutal and the force of the crash left the car severely damaged, so he needed help to get out of the car. Perez was diagnosed with a concussion and a sprain in his thigh. Therefore, he couldn't participate in the Monaco Grand Prix or the following race in Canada. The video. Thank you for watching. During the qualifying session of the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix, Rubens Barrichello's Jordan had an accident when, while taking a chicane, he hit a curb uncontrollably. The impact caused his car to lift into the air and crash violently into a tire barrier. He experienced a force of 95 Gs. The impact was so severe that the car bounced and spun several times before coming to a stop. Barrichello was left unconscious and suffered a sprained wrist and a broken nose. Due to his injuries and his state of shock, Barrichello was forced to not participate in Sunday's race. In one of the most tragic weekends in the history of Formula One, Borgi Irvine can't hold on. It's an accident. During the 2001 Belgian Grand Prix, Luciano Burti tried to overtake Eddie Irvine, who, without seeing him, turned into Burti, causing the latter's car to lose its front wing and control, crashing into a tire barrier at 290 kilometers per hour, a speed that generated a force of 111 Gs. Burti was immediately taken to the hospital, where he was diagnosed with a concussion and facial bruises, which left him out of competition for the rest of the season.
Oh my God!
At the 2014 Japanese Grand Prix on lap 42, Adrian Sutil lost control of his Sauber and crashed into the barriers. The marshals came in with a heavy crane to remove the car, even though the safety car had not been deployed. And one lap later, Jules Bianchi also lost control at the same corner and slid on the wet track, until he collided violently with the crane. At over 200 kilometers per hour, suffering an impact of 54 Gs, Bianchi was left unconscious and was taken to the hospital, where he was placed in an induced coma due to the severe brain injuries he suffered. Bianchi passed away in July 2015, marking one of the most tragic losses in the history of Formula One, caused by one of the greatest acts of negligence seen in the sport.